What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have another album review for you. So, another one that we definitely had on our radar for the week of the 12th of November was the debut full-length from Cleveland, Ohio's 200 Stab Wounds, Slave to the Scalpel. This comes out on Maggot Stomp Records. It's been formed in 2019 again in Cleveland, Ohio, so these are technically home state heroes. They were initially known as 217 Stab Wounds, which is an oddly specific number. I'm just kind of wondering there. But regardless, I was a huge fan of their EP, Festering Piles of Decomposition. Giant buzz generated. Literally, I want to say like a ton of our commenters before I had actually picked it up kept saying, I was like, dude, you got to check out this 200 Stab Wounds, man. I was like, okay. Picked up the EP, and it's about 12 minutes long of pure brutality. And that is pretty much exactly what this is, except it's under a half an hour of pure brutality. Like, just shy, about 27 minutes. It's old school, it's still kind of modern, it's brutal.
Violent.
And holy shit, this is one of the heaviest things I've listened to this year, and I feel like I say that a lot, but...
They keep topping each other.
Yeah, this is just insane. So we open up with Skin Milk. I don't know what that is, but he says it fairly often in the song, and man, dude, after you get this really sick drum intro with samples of someone dissecting someone.
It's like a spoken word autopsy or something. Like,
yeah.
Like if you were going to listen to a book on tape, this is autopsy on tape.
Or it's a vivisection and they just have him gagged and he couldn't make any noises.
There's that.
I mean, it seems very possible with this band. And then you were greeted to just heavy everything.
Yeah.
The production on this is absolutely fantastic for what they're going for, which I assume is heavier than everything.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, nothing drowns out anything. The snares kind of lost that like plunky, plinky feel and has more of just a slap. I mean, the guitars are... everything, dude. It's just stank face the whole time. I didn't lose it the entire time.
No, this was sustained stank face, like literally the entire listen. And you were just greeted to riff after riff, very interesting transitions. You get a wide array of like different kinds of like death metal riffing on here. I mean, it's definitely 100% focused on death metal, but you get like thrashier sections, you get straight up sort of obituary, bolt thrower type grooves, big, stupid, heavy slam riffs like Suffocation and Dying Fetus.
Yep.
And I gotta say, this opening track and the last track, Expirated Spatter, definitely lay on that stripped, raped, and strangled sort of crawl that you get from Cannibal Corpse. It's pretty much taking the heaviest aspects of already ridiculously heavy bands and throwing it into this monstrous blender that also probably has body parts in it. We can't rule that out. And serving this, it's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross. Like, the whole thing just sounds filthy and grimy and nasty, and like the vocals are perfect for that. Just
and they're so like just in your face. Like there's quite a few like sustained long growls, but most of them they're short, kind of violent, kind of remind me a lot of Outer Heaven, just in terms of like his really just nasty in-your-face delivery. They're nice and cavernous. They have that right amount of reverb on them where it just sounds like he's screaming into a bucket full of
chum.
Probably chum. Some teeth floating around in there. Not his, he's fine. But whoever was mulched into that bucket, not so much.
The song Itty Bitty Pieces, first of all, I like that there's itty bitty.
I love it
in the track.
It's endearing. It's sweet.
Yep, we have a mutual friend that we nicknamed Itty Bitty because she's tiny, and so I thought of her immediately.
You'd only have to like cut her in half to get to the bitty part. She'd be like tiny after that.
And I think this song is a little bit more straightforward than the rest of them. This is just heavy. Just heavy riff after heavy riff. I can see little itty bitty pieces of my skull in the mosh pit. Should I decide to get anywhere near it, which I don't think is a great idea.
That's a terrible idea. You were too delicate for this mosh pit. I'm too delicate for this fucking mosh pit. I already know that.
But I like the ending of that song too. It's just these sour, like squeal, dissonant notes. It sounds disgusting. which I think is what they were going for.
The biggest thing I think about this album is it's about momentum. Everything is just rolling over you like a fucking steamroller that's covered in spikes or something. That doesn't seem like it would work. Never mind that. It's just something horrible rolling over you. The whole thing it's just constantly moving forward. It's constantly brutal. There's no wane in energy, like at any time. Even if they change around the pace from a blast beat to a big stomp and groove to like a breakdown or a slam riff, the energy either stays the same or ramps up.
And there are so many stomping grooves. Like it just sounds like a giant stepping on people in a small town. Just,
fuck that building. Ooh, look, a baby. Don't worry, the hypothetical baby we made up there is fine.
Yep, it's great.
It lived to be 10.
Yay, baby.
And there's a lot of nods to just like kind of old school. There's definitely, elements of like more brutal death metal, but definitely some like 90s Floridian stuff. Drilling Your Head, the opening breakdown is almost like a more brutal version of the opening breakdown of Chopped in Half. Like it kind of does that whole isolated riff, and then it lets the bass take a walk, which the bass tone sounds gnarly as fuck as well.
Yep.
And it just kind of lets this groove ride, and I dare you not to bang your head. My neck is still sore from the night before.
Oh my god.
But I couldn't help but to bang my head to this because this labors a lot of just great groove, catchy riffs for death metal freaks like us, and just energy. Again, like it is just brutal.
Raw, brutal energy.
Now, when it comes down to like breaks from this, there's very few. But I have to say, I do like what atmosphere there is. Again, that opening track has the surgical whatever's going on there. Something from ear to ear. Probably not a necklace. Itty Bitty Pieces has this interesting interlude on it where it kicks off with a laugh. And I swear, I think it's Jabba the Hutt because I hear like the monkey bird fucking thing that annoyed everyone in Return of the Jedi just making noises. It sounds like it, but they threw in a whole bunch of like weird, like creepy ambience behind it, and honestly, it's like the fucking party boat just went through that dimension that Event Horizon went through, and I don't know, the party got really interesting there. And the end of Itty Bitty Pieces actually segues into a really cool intro to Phallic Filth, which
I love that title,
dude.
Phallic Filth.
I mean, it's almost as bad as Dick Fillet, right?
Almost. I don't know if
we were able to say Phallic Filth immediately. Dick Fillet still breaks this motherfucker.
Dick Fillet.
Thank you, Sanguisugabog. But that one actually turns into this like Fulci goblin sort of like synthwave thing, but there's gurgling and gasping and
it's gross. It's disgusting. Sounds like somebody choking a bunch of gremlins and then duct taping their corpses to a chair
so they can pee in their eye sockets. That's the natural thing.
Pee in their eye sockets.
It's all fun and games until you pee in the eye sockets. Then it's just fun. But yeah, that's like one of the few moments of actual like ambience, and it's a nice segue because the atmosphere fits so well. Because I mean, I feel like on the album cover, like it's tortured remnants, dudes. Got all sorts of
200 stab wounds. I mean, I can't see that being a good time.
Well, I mean, if you're listening to it, it is.
But I'm thinking after 30, you're probably going to be dead anyway, and then it's just...
That's a pretty violent crime.
It's just what parts don't have an incision in them.
And then, I guess the only other real ambient moment on there in terms of atmosphere is the end of Expurgated Spatter, which is more... Man, I don't even know. I think someone recorded one of the members snoring and then just remixed it so it was like Satan bellowing into the abyss.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of if a giant ate a cow and then the cow tried to creep its way back out of the giant, up out of his throat, and you can just hear murr.
You thought way too much about this story.
I did. It's because of how violent these riffs are.
Wait, did the cow make it?
It seemed to, because it ended with cow.
He's going to continue the story, I swear. This will be a Patreon exclusive. You're going to find out what happens to the cow. It's not over yet. I have a hunch.
I'm gonna get all stoned and then tell this story about a cow crawling out of a giant. It's gonna be great.
Brought to you by 200 Stab Wounds.
Yep, and the letter
Cow.
cow.
My only complaint about this, and it's minimal, is there's not enough of it. It's under 27 minutes. I feel like this could have, had a couple more tracks just to pad it out, but I feel like if it had a couple more tracks, the listener could press charges for assault because it would be even heavier if they had more tracks.
Like, I went from stank face to straight stroke face. It was just like...
Dude. Like, he was just looking at me like, I don't mean to do this. I can't help it.
Because he was like, your face is going to get stuck that way. And I was like, what do you want me to do?
No, it won't.
Just straight, just... Bleh. And I think that's what they wanted.
And honestly, I mean, that's, you've seen the meme. That's the ultimate compliment, especially if you're in a brutal-ass death metal band.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's really the only complaint I have. This is just fucking heavy, but good.
Yep.
It's catchy.
Good, right? Yeah.
Some bands exceeded just being heavy, but sometimes they forget to bring in hooks. These guys brought in every hook. I mean, they're even on the cover, suspending the corpses.
Right.
But, that's the thing. Like, this is so listenable too. Like, we went back and listened to it again just because, again, it's catchy and brutal at the same time. And again, I dare you not to bang your head.
And there's so many parts to each of these songs too. And for songs that are mostly 2.5 to 3 minutes, like, they squeeze a lot in.
Really cool transitions. Again, lots of elements of death metal in general, just kind of turned into like a weaponized fucking sound. Like, it's that fucking heavy. I am gonna go ahead and give this 4.5 stars. Holy shit. This just has such violent energy. This is a Bad Intentions album, but I mean, Bad Intentions in a good way, if that makes any sense. It's so damn heavy. It's so centered on just everything I love about death metal. Like, literally, this reminded me of when I first heard death metal, like that reaction. Like, I was kind of scared and put off, but I really just started to get into it and, like, oh yeah, okay. It really kind of hones in on that sort of feeling, and it does not let up. I love how it's just a freight train just mowing through everything. It's just brutal as hell. Go get this. I got it pre-ordered after I heard half of one track because, like, well, I already know I'm going to like this. And I don't know, I might have to get a t-shirt now too. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Go get this. Go hit up Bandcamp. Go hit up Maggot Stomp. This is an awesome album. If you're a death metal freak like me and that guy, you're going to want a copy.
Yes. I mean, I agree with Nick. I'm giving it 4.5. To be honest, I would have almost given it the coveted 5. Had the record been a little bit longer. It just riff after riff. It just pummeling. Just everything heavier than everything else. And it's not overkill. It's just a collection of just nasty, stank-faced stomp riffs. It sounds violent and brutal and angry and just filthy, grimy, nasty. All the adjectives that are supposed to describe filth.
I think you got them.
I think I got them all, but yeah, man, what a listen. And it's fun. I like stomp riffs. I like stank-faced stomp riffs. It just that feeling of just a giant stepping on a town. Just bleh, grr, and that's what I think they were going for. I really liked it.
If you guys make 200 Stab Wounds neck braces, I might need one. That'd be really cool of you guys.
I'm pretty sure we're going to the record release.
That's next Thursday on the 18th at the Foundry in
Cleveland.
Lakewood.
Yep.
Just outside of Cleveland. But yeah, I might have to go there. So if there isn't a review up on Thursday, it's because we're there. And if you're in the area, you should be. I think tickets are only like $12 too. So yes. Go. That's there you go.
Do it.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out, there will be a link down below. And we still have shirts available. If you would like one, hit us up on thrallsmetal@gmail.com. Send us a message, put shirts in there, and we will get back to you and hopefully sell you a shirt. And John has something to say.
I sure do. For those who didn't see the announcement, I'm bringing back What's John Jamming. It's been quite some time, and You know, I had a little bit of snafu with losing some things in the cavernous depths that is the Thralls email.
We flogged him accordingly.
So I went ahead and made my own email, jammingjohn666@gmail.com. If you are an unsigned band or a band with very little following and you want to get out of the underground, please hit me up. That is my forte. And as you guys know, I love all things death metal, and I'm really getting into black metal nowadays. And so I just want heavy, pummeling music to spread to the masses. So jammingjohn666@gmail.com. It is making a return.
So with that, I thank you all once again because you all fucking rule, and we will catch you later.